I'm Kevin Wade. I'm sitting in for Bob Steele. He'll be back tomorrow. You are listening to WGMD 92.7, the Talk of Delmarva. It is Tuesday, the 19th of April. And whenever I am pinch hitting here in the studios of WGMD, I like to take a few minutes to share a commentary. Today's commentary is entitled, When You Stopped Being Your Own Man or Woman. At a moment in our history when our most important institutions are struggling to keep the confidence of the people, the folks in Dover at Legislative Hall have decided to insult the authority of the people of this state, the authority to rule themselves, to give consent at the ballot box in selection of representatives to make the rules and the laws that govern our lives. This seizure of power from the people masquerades as the proposed Equal Rights Amendment to the state constitution, also known as HB 399. Write that down, HB 399. Now, any red-blooded American believes in equal rights. But this amendment is not that. Not when you read the text, what it says, and what it can be made to mean. This amendment will take all matters pertaining to sex, male and female, and place those decisions in the hands of judges, not the people expressing their will through their elected representatives. Now, what are the matters pertaining to sex? Anything a judge decides. Anything. Some have argued this simply relates to the operation of the state government and its departments. Does it relate to the Department of Education? If so, does it then relate to the school districts, which are closely controlled and directly funded by the state? Does it then relate to the students, our kids? What about agencies? The Bridge Authority, Turnpike Authority? What about organizations directly receiving grants? What about subcontractors and service firms working for the state? Who decides any of these boundaries? You won't. I'll repeat, you won't. A judge will. Who decides if there are any limitations on the scope of the law, the reach of the law? Again, you won't. A judge will. An unelected judge will. This law will ultimately be used to compel, to bring about by force virtually any demand upon the shoulders of the people of the state if it involves the two sexes, male and female. Friends, each and every one of you is male or female, and subject to whatever whim motivates a judge at some point in the future to step out of line and to step into your life. 40-year-old men in the little girls' room. Isn't that what the left argues is simply a matter of identity and equal access? Isn't that just an equal right? A judge will decide. You're not even in the picture. You're not even in the fringes of the picture. Because it is an amendment to the state constitution, once it becomes law, this ERA amendment is virtually irrevocable. It will be almost impossible to repeal. It will become almost impossible to restore the authority of the people to govern themselves. Most importantly, to govern themselves to protect their own sense of privacy, their own sense of modesty, their own sense of dignity and decency. I began this commentary by saying at a moment in our history when our most important institutions are struggling to keep the confidence of the people, any legislator that offers up his or her vote to make the supermajority needed to amend the Constitution to intrude in the inner sanctums of Delaware families does not deserve our confidence, be that legislator Republican or Democrat. This is a big one. If you want to see more decay in society and the brutal human fallout and suffering that decay brings, then sit quietly while this ERA amendment passes this week. An amendment requires 2 consecutive legislatures to confirm. This is the first of 2 steps. Let us not walk halfway down this road by giving it its first approval. For those who scream that it's simply a non-discrimination change, equal rights, and we should trust the name on the label, I'll respond this way. Remember the Affordable Care Act of 2010 in Washington? Most of us know that law by its other name, Obamacare. It had little to do with making health insurance or health care affordable to most of us. We've all seen the political bait and switch game played too many times. You and I have been around the block too many times to be fooled again by the label Equal Rights Amendment. What it is the end of your rights as a citizen to have a voice in matters most important and most intimate to your life. You will lose those rights to a judge for the rest of your life. Call your state senators today and let them know exactly how you feel. They won't ask you after this bill passes into irrevocable law. I'm Kevin Wade, and that's the way I see it.